Hi everyone, Sat Shri Akal, welcome to my channel. Let's talk about tests for breast. I'll be covering all the major tests which are out there for breast screening. But before we begin, let me state that this video is also available in Punjabi and Hindi. So in case you'd like to watch in those two languages, I'll leave the links to both of them in the description box below. And also you will find both of those videos towards the end of this video. So make sure you watch this video till the end. So in my case, I went for breast surgery recently. I've talked about that experience in this video. So what went wrong, what was diagnosed, and how was the pain and how many days it took me to heal. I've talked about all of them in detail in this video in case you want to know more about that, so you can check this out. So in case you have any qualms about the test, like what the experience is going to be, are they going to painful or not, or how much time will it take for the test to be done, I'll be talking about everything in detail in today's video. So let's begin. So before we dive into the test section, let's talk about the doctors whom you have to consult in case you want to go for any of the breast examination. So you've got three options. Number one is obstetrician. These are the doctors who are mainly into childbirth, into pregnancy, prenatal care, postnatal care, and they also help with fertility issues. Then you've got the gynecologist. Now these are the female doctors. Most of the times these are the female doctors. They deal with female reproductive organs and breast and overall female health. And then you've got the breast surgeons. Now usually you don't go to the breast surgeon directly, but because in this test they get involved, so that's why I'm talking about breast surgeons also. Apart from them, there are radiologists and technicians who will be performing the tests on you. So let's start with the very basic test. So here I'd like to tell you that in all the tests I'll be talking about in today's video, you will be bare chested, which means your breast will be exposed. The doctor or the technician will be able to look at them. So the first test is the physical examination, the clinical examination. This might be your very first approach, or this might be your very first visit with the gynecologist. So she'll look at the breast for any kind of differences, abnormalities, and also she's going to touch and feel the breast. So that could be the very first examination, and that could just be all for you. Next is ultrasound. After physical examination, if the gynecologist feels there is some issue, or she just want to be extra sure about something, or if you are falling under the category of being 25 years to 35 years, she can suggest you to go for an ultrasound scan. Now ultrasound scan is fairly simple. It is not at all painful, and it is quite safe. Now, when you go for ultrasound, you'll be lying on a bed, again bare chested, your breast will be exposed, and the radiologist would be sitting next to you, and she'd be having, or he'd be having, a monitor in front of them. There is a very small device which they'll be using to check your breast, and they'll be using some gel so that it can glide properly on the breast. Now ultrasound uses sound waves. So the sound waves create a picture of your internal organ, your internal structure on the monitor. So she'll be gliding that little small thing on the breast, and she can easily see what is happening down there on her monitor. And once she is done, you can wipe that extra gel off, and yes, you are good to go, and you will be getting the test results in about a day or two. This process is very simple, takes about 15 to 20 minutes, completely non-painful, and it is quite safe also. I can vouch for it. I have been going for it for like many years now. Most of the times ultrasounds have all the information a doctor would like to gather, but in case she would like to go for further investigation, then she can suggest you to go for a mammogram. Now mammograms involve some kind of radiation. That's why they are not advisable for girls under 35, unmarried ladies, who have not given childbirth, or maybe lactating mothers, pregnant women. So that's why it's not even advisable for them to go for this kind of radiation exposure. But because there are low intensity x-rays and it's not considered that high, so still the doctor can opt for it if she would like to go for any kind of further clarification. So here the radiation is there, and the person does not lie on the bed. Instead, she stands in front of the machine, the testing apparatus. So the breasts are placed on the machine, and then they are compressed with the help of another it's a part of a machine only, but the breasts are compressed. Here some people might feel a little bit of pain, not too much, a little bit of pain, as like someone has pinched you. So it's that kind of pain. The whole process takes about 4 to 5 minutes because the x-ray is done one by one, so it will be one breast first and then the second one. So that's all, and the report will be out in about 2 to 3 days. Now mammograms are usually advisable for ladies above 45 years of age. In some countries the age limit is 50, so you can check for your country, but for old age women mammograms are advisable and they should opt for this screening once in a year. This really helps in knowing any abnormalities or maybe the early detection of breast cancer. So mammogram is a really good technique in knowing any of these issues beforehand. For a very usual checkup, physical examination is fine. A little more further investigation would be done with ultrasound. If there is any kind of clarification, then okay, mammogram could be opted for. So that's all. But in case the doctor wants to negate few things, or if she has seen something, then she might suggest you to go for MRI, magnetic resonance imaging. MRI is again a safe procedure because it uses magnetic field, and that's how the images are created onto a desktop, onto a monitor. Here it is the same machine which we usually see on TV, this long tube, and the patient goes in. So depending upon the organ which is being screened, the apparatus can be a little different. Now in case of breast MRI, the patient will lie face down and there will be two different compartments for the breasts to get screened properly. The whole procedure takes about 45 minutes to 50 minutes, but the whole thing is you have to lie down without moving yourself, so you have to be still for about 45 minutes. Another important thing to talk about in MRI is that it's quite noisy. So because the magnetic field is being created, so it's very noisy, and usually headphones are given in order to keep you sane. Now in the MRI only, there is one more type of MRI, that is with a contrast. Now contrast is a kind of dye which is injected into your skin so that we can get more clear pictures. Now in my case, I actually went for MRI with contrast. So a small syringe is again, put into your arm, and then it's intravenous, and then the contrast is given to you in the mid of the MRI, and that's how the doctor gets to know about any kind of damages or any kind of nerve issue. That will be a little painful. I mean, the prick will be painful. Other than that, the dye itself is not at all painful. It doesn't do anything to your body. But apart from that, you have to drink a lot of water once you get out of that MRI room, because you want that dye to just flush out of your body. So that's the only part. Another thing related to MRI is because the patient stays in that tube for almost 45 minutes. So once she gets out of the machine, she might feel a little dizzy, or she might not be able to concentrate well. So that's about 1 to 2 minutes after the whole procedure is done, and that goes off on its own. So now we have talked about physical examination, ultrasound, mammogram, and MRI. These all procedures are just the monitor based or the technology based procedures. Now the two procedures I'm going to talk about are actually manual procedures, and in both of them the doctor or the radiologist would take a part out of your skin or out of that tissue to send it to the lab and to get it checked whether it is something bad or good. So now both of these procedures include a little bit of anesthesia and a little bit of cut also. So the first one is biopsy. As we all know, biopsy is all about taking a small tissue out of the body, sending it to the lab and getting it checked. So here in case of breast, there are 3 types of biopsies which are usually recommended or which are usually there. The first one is a fine needle biopsy, second one is core needle biopsy, and the third one is a vacuum assisted biopsy. They all are ultrasound guided, which means the doctor will be placing the ultrasound device on the breast. She can see easily what's happening inside, where the needle is going, how much tissue is being taken, and she can see all those things on the monitor. In all of these 3, there will be local anesthesia which will be given, so they'll feel numb. You won't feel anything while the procedure is going on. So the first one is fine needle biopsy, in which a small needle is inserted in the breast, and they'll try to pull out few cells or maybe some fluid which is in there, and then they'll send that fluid to the lab. So the second one is core needle biopsy. I went for it. Here, because the needle is thick, so they have to make a small incision, and then the needle goes through that incision and then takes the chunks out of the breast. The radiologist would like to take as many chunks as possible of that area so that they can have a fair look of what's happening inside the breast. They'll be sending those tissues to the lab, and then the report comes in about 5 to 7 days. Now the third procedure is the vacuum assisted biopsy. So the biopsy is vacuum assisted, which means the needle that goes in, it has vacuum in it and it can suck the entire thing out of the breast. The pain in this procedure is different for different people. Like in my case, I'd say it was about 2 to 3 on a scale of 1 to 10 when the local anesthesia went in, and apart from that I don't think so that I felt any kind of pain. Once the procedure was done, once the whole painkiller thing, when the anesthesia went off, so then the pain was about 4 to 5, but it took about 2 days and then I was on painkillers and then everything was sorted out. Now that depends on person to person, but yes, because there will be a small incision, it will heal on its own. You don't need to apply anything to it, and because the needle will go in and after that it will take about a day or 2 to get healed. So that depends upon your pain levels, but usually it doesn't take too much of a time, and at the same time it is not that painful. So last comes surgery. All the procedures we have talked till now were to diagnose the issue, but this one is to treat the issue. So it will be like any other surgery. So there will be a small incision, sometimes a bigger one depending upon the issue, and then there will be the operation. The doctor will be operating on that area and then she'll stitch everything fine back together and she'll sew everything together. So it will take about half an hour to about an hour or 2 depending upon the gravity of the issue, and then maybe it could be a daycare procedure, maybe you have to admit to the hospital depending upon what kind of issue they have found, and that's all. And it will take about a week or 15 days or maybe sometimes a month to heal from these kind of surgery. In my case it took me about 15 days. I was not allowed to, you know, pick some big stuff, some heavy stuff. So yeah, that was there. Apart from that, I was on painkillers for almost 7-8 days. But here I'd like to say it's not that surgery is the only treatment left. Sometimes the doctor might just go for vacuum assisted biopsy, which might just take 15 to 20 minutes. But if she thinks that, let's say if they're treating a lump and if it's bigger and they don't want to leave any chunk or any piece of it behind, so that's how they'll look for the surgical option for that. Because I have told you about all the tests, that doesn't mean you have to go through everything. You might just go to your doctor and she'd just look at your breast and say, oh yeah, everything is fine, just go. Or maybe for some little more clarification, okay, one ultrasound and that's done. But let's say if you're getting old, you're above 45, 50, she might suggest you to go for a mammogram also. So all of these tests are almost 100% effective, and most of the times, almost 96-97% of the times, if something is diagnosed that is benign, that is without any issue, that is non-cancerous, that is non-malign, so it's not that, you know, you're afraid, so you're not going for any of these tests because they might confirm you something. No, you might be able to negate so many things and you might be able to live a stress-free life. So please go to your gynecologist and get yourself checked. So that's all for today. If you found this video useful, please give it a big thumbs up and you can subscribe to my channel too. I'll see you soon in my next video. Till then, take care of yourself, stay healthy, stay blessed. Bye-bye.